So the landmark for the running back on the outside zone is the outside leg of the tight end. If we don't have a tight end, we teach the guy it's the outside leg of the ghost tight end. That's his initial aiming point on the play. Okay. And on this football play, the runner is very under controlled on the play. Okay. He's not taking the ball and trying to sprint around the end and circle the defense. Quite honestly, that's not what we're trying to get accomplished whenever we run the outside zone. This is a stretch and puncture run for us, and we're trying to create horizontal seams in the defense. Okay. On the inside zone, we're trying to knock people vertically off the football. And on the outside zone, we're trying to create horizontal seams in the defense. And somewhere in here, we're trying to cut the defense in two. So we're trying to get done somewhere along the way. Okay, and we're going to talk about these things. All right, so reading the play for the back, we teach the back that he is reading one gap at a time from play side to backside. Okay, one gap at a time from play side to backside. And we're telling the runner that the gaps are coming to him. He doesn't have to cut back into a gap on the outside zone play necessarily. The gap should be moving to him, right? And they should show up in his face. And if his pace is correct and his eyes are disciplined, he will end up where he's supposed to end up. Now, does the ball ever end up outside on the outside zone? Yes, it does. It predominantly happens when the edge of the defense pinches inside. Okay, and our philosophy on the outside zone versus a front that is pinching inside is we want to make them pay for pinching, right? If they're pinching inside, then they've set a soft edge for themselves, and the ball should go screaming through the front side C to D gap 100 miles an hour as soon as the edge gets reached by the defense. Okay. But that's not the intent of the run for us. This is a stretch and puncture run. Okay. We're trying to create horizontal seams in the defense. Okay. And obviously it's a zone block play, so we'll get into some of these things, right? So talking about some of the specific blocks on the outside zone play. Okay. So I am a reach blocker if I am a center, play side guard, or play side tackle, or a tight end if I'm running it to a three-man surface. Okay. And when we start talking about, we talk about playing on the defensive side of the line of scrimmage. We're not trying to old school hook guys. This outside zone play for us, we are backside hand dominant. Okay. And so the guy that we're focusing on is the left guard, Will McDonald. Okay. And he's working a gut combo tackle to this linebacker right here. Okay. So he's working to reach the four technique. And that's what he's working to get done. Okay. We want to gain as much ground as we can with our play side foot. Okay. On this play. All right. And we want to get our second step down. We want to eliminate second step crossover as much as we can. It's going to happen on occasion, but we want to eliminate it. We talked to the guys about running with wide legs, right? Running with wide legs, okay, off the ball. We're still in terms of where we want our helmets, okay? But backside hand dominant here, all right? So what the left guard's trying to get done is he's trying to drive his right hand through the sternum or the midline of this four technique, okay? And if he can get his right hand to the sternum of that four technique, he's going to square his shoulders to the line, and he's going to drive his backside knee, so his right knee in the example, through the crotch of the four, and he is going to work vertical, and we are going to set a vertical edge. Okay. That's if he can get his right hand to his sternum. If he can't get his right hand to his sternum, because the defender stays outside of him or moves outside of him, then he's going to drive his backside hand through the rib cage, okay, of the defender. And this is all happening on the run. And he's going to drive his backside hand through the rib cage. And we call this lifting and locking the backside hand, which creates a torque. And he's putting that defender and keeping that defender out in that B gap. Okay. So it's either a hand to sternum reach block, backside hand to sternum, or it is a torque. Okay. And force the defender outside. Okay. And the reason for all this is the back is looking at this block. And if the block is not clear for the back, he's not going to know where to go with the football. Okay. So we need to define this block for the back as soon as we possibly can. We've either got him reached or he's torqued, one of the two. The back needs that information, especially on the front side, as soon as we can possibly give it to him. Okay. So there's 3 ways you can take on these defenders. You either get him reached, right, where you get your backside hand to his sternum and you square your shoulders. You don't get him reached because he stays on your outside half and you torque the defender out, okay? Or I take the defender on and I fit him nose to nose. And I'm trying to get my backside hand to his sternum, but we're nose to nose, okay? And I can't get him reached, okay? If I ever fit a defender nose to nose on a reach block, I got to torque him. That's my only option. Because a nose-to-nose read on the outside zone play for a running back is the worst read there is. If he's reached, it's clean. If he's torqued, it's clean. If he's nose-to-nose on the blocker, it ain't clean. Right? And that's going to result in vision and a negative yardage play. Okay? So we got to define that for the back. So if I'm nose-to-nose, I got to lift and lock the backside hand and accelerate my feet, and I got to torque the guy out in the B gap, and the ball is going to come inside of me. To reach, right? So this right here, okay, with Will, he ends up reaching a 4 technique. We'd like for his pad level to be better. There's no question about that. We'd like for him to not second step crossover, but the bottom line is he gets his backside hand to his sternum. Now he's gotten playside leverage on that defender, and this is a front side clear read for the back. Okay. Right hand to sternum, square your shoulders and run. Do not turn back on the defender. If you stop your feet and turn back, the guy's going to cross your face. We're going to lose leverage. Don't do that. Square your shoulders and run. Okay. This is second level block here by Nick, but watch Nick. He cannot reach 7. Well, the back is looking at the tight end first. Tight end can't reach the Sam linebacker. Good. Torque the guy. Lift, lock, and torque. Clean read for the back. Nick going to take on the linebacker. Now Javen's eyes are on Nick. He can't reach him. Torque him. Good. Clean read for the back. Will gets the 4 technique reached. These are all clean reads for the running back right here. He knows exactly where to go. No gray area. Okay? Right? So this is a good job by those 3 defenders in our center. Now, or Dylan Luther jacks it up. But regardless, you're getting what you need to get done out of the left guard on the line of scrimmage reach block. Backside hand to sternum. Okay, backside hand to sternum. Okay? All right, here, you can see this from both. We're running a wide zone play to the left. You can see the examples from both the left guard and the left tackle here. This is this spring. This is 2 young players. Okay? We're working. I like that the left tackle's gaining ground with his left foot. Backside foot is in the ground. I like this. Okay? I like for Cam Todd to gain more ground. Now, understand what we're teaching, fellas. We're teaching him to aim 1 foot outside of your man's outside foot. That's where your first step should take you. 1 foot outside of that guy's alignment. Because we got to make the guy do something. Okay? We want to drive our backside knee through his crotch, and our backside hand's either going to his sternum or his rib cage.